with that film, I think just from a tackling standpoint, and the angles that were being taken. Any common denominator you saw there that can be corrected in the span of 1 week?
Yeah, I think so. I think just the emphasis and I think the more you see it, the more guys realize, okay, yeah, this was the poor angle. This is why this guy cut back on me, So, and I think we got enough time right now to address that and practice it and get better at it. And I think our guys have learned from it. That's the thing, like they see the film, they've seen the mistakes, and now they got to go out there and starting tomorrow morning, we're going to get out there and start practicing it. And so, it's something that the guys have made those tackles in the past. So that's why there's no need to panic right now. It's just the guys need to go out there and execute the things that they did in the past, and we'll be good with it.
How do you address a lack of physicality in a week of practice, just a couple sessions you get, and is that a mental thing as much as it's a physical thing?
I think it's both. I think you turn on the week game one, we showed a lot of physical clips of us being physical, right? And then obviously in week two, this is not the standard right here, right? So I think the fact that we were able to stress this with and showing these guys that here's the proof that you've done it, this is the proof that you did not do it. You got to pick and choose which one you want to be. And I think we have strong leadership on our defense with some of our older guys, and I think they're going to choose to be the physical team that they know that they can be moving forward. So. I think the biggest tools we can do is just show these guys. They like to watch TV and their videos and all that stuff. Well, here's the most influential video you got of yourself right now.
Another team that runs the ball well and a quarterback who's run the ball well this year. You're playing on Saturday. Mm-hmm. What do you have to do this week technically that you didn't do against Notre Dame?
I think just like going back to that last question, is we have got to embrace the physicality of stopping the run. Good teams run the football and stop the run, and we have to be able to line up, and they're going to try to line up in 12 personnel and try to run power football down our throats, and we have to embrace that challenge and say, let's go. So, getting out tomorrow, it'll be a good tackle Tuesday, I think, so just playing with extension, playing with our hands, and being able to get off blocks is going to be a big key to our success this week.
What do you get out of Earl Culp? I know he was missing part of camp, but now he's on the teams, and obviously Anthony Brown getting back too, kind of switched up the depth chart in the secondary at least a little bit.
Yeah, I think Earl comes from a really good program at St. Thomas Aquinas, so he, he's out for a little bit during fall camp, but he's back, he's healthy now, so I think, having a standard of winning in his blood already, what I'm saying, like that gives him confidence to go out there and accomplish what he needs to do, and then, AB's been around here since we've been here, and just shows to continue to embrace the role that he's had and get better at what he needs to do. So, I'm anxious to see those guys in practice this week and see how they move forward.
I asked Graham this, but I'll ask you too. Last year you lose the season opener, then you go to Virginia Tech, I believe, and the team really got probably extended time to get to know each other a little bit in that locker room. But is there a benefit to going on the road, going across the country on a short week, and just getting away from everything that happened here on Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's no better time to get out of town than right now, and obviously, when we get out there, guys are going to be around each other a lot more, that they're, some of these guys have never been in the same room with each other for overnight, so it's going to be fun to get to know each other that way, but so to get out of town and to get into a different environment where it's us against everybody, I think it's something that we're going to relish, and I think that's a good way for us to kind of move forward from this thing, so I know everybody's anxious to get on that plane and get out of here.
Kevin, just the approach to dealing with quarterbacks who like to run the football. Mm-hmm. What's the defensive approach to that?
Yeah, it adds another element, and so you have to be able to play that +1 football, and the stuff that we like to do, we like to keep a guy in the middle of the field. So sometimes it's like, all right, well, we're going to pull him out of the middle, or we're not going to do that. So obviously there's a schematic challenge for what we have to do with it, but you always got to account for him. Your pass rush lane's got to be great. Your technique has to be perfect on the edges, because if you're one step too fast, now you're in a bad position to change direction and get back out to where you're supposed to be to go get him. So it just adds an element of perfection of what your craft needs to be. Like, you have to be assignment football sound when the quarterback can run the football, and you got to be able to sometimes change the math and get off blocks and make a play.
In 2 weeks in, kind of assess KJ and inside linebacker.
Yeah, I think, KJ has every tool you want at that position. He's big, he's fast, he's physical. and he continues to get better at seeing the game through an inside linebacker's eyes. I think, being able to play the entire field, he's learning how to do that, rather than just one side and run into the football. It's a little more, it taxes you a little bit more when you got to run all over the field versus one side. So, but he's getting better at that part. And I think the more he develops and just gets comfortable, and you're going to see a big growth, I think, between now and the end of the season and what that guy can do at that position.
What did you need better Saturday, setting the edge on defense to not let them get outside the way they did?
Yeah, I think, like when you walk into our building, there's a sign that says "Do your job." I think if guys just executed their job to, whether it's coaching, whether it's players, if we have guys set the edge and play with extension and get off blocks, and then we don't have those issues that we had, right? And then, so I think once we've established that and guys are getting out there and knowing and understanding what role they have in this defense and to execute their job to set the edge, whomever that might be. It could be a corner, it could be a safety, it could be one of our rush ends, it could be a linebacker. I think that's first and foremost. And then, again, just playing with physicality and getting off blocks. Guys are on the edge, but then they get stuck on a block where we just got outran. So there's a multitude of things that can go with that. But I think if understand where you are in our defense and your role at that particular play, the edge is going to get set.
Any more questions for Coach Kane? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
We'll have